Most people think becoming a millionaire is only for the lucky, the genius, or the already rich. But the truth is, it's a skill, and skills can be learned. This audiobook isn't about shortcuts or hype. It's about simple steps, smart habits, and the mindset shift that can change everything. If you've ever thought, is this even possible for me? The answer is yes. And this guide is here to show you exactly how. Chapter 1. Start with the right mindset. Why how you think about money is more important than how much you make. Ask most people how to become a millionaire, and they'll jump straight to strategies. Invest in stocks, start a business, cut expenses, save more. And while those things are important, they miss the real starting point, your mindset. Becoming a millionaire isn't just about actions. It's about attitudes. The difference between someone who builds wealth and someone who stays stuck often comes down to how they think about money. If you believe you'll never have enough, you probably won't. If you believe making money is only for lucky people, you'll avoid taking real steps. But if you believe that wealth is a skill, one you can learn and grow into, everything changes. Millionaires don't wait for a perfect paycheck. They don't depend on lottery tickets or windfalls. What they really do is think differently. They ask questions like, how can I make this money grow? Instead of, how fast can I spend it? They see money as a tool, not just a reward. And they focus on building assets, not just earning income. This mindset shift is powerful because it takes the pressure off being perfect right now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start thinking like someone who's building something. That means staying curious, being willing to learn, and seeing setbacks as part of the journey, not the end of the road. Most importantly, millionaires think long-term. They understand that real wealth is built over time. It's not flashy. It's not overnight. It's the result of hundreds of small, smart decisions made consistently. They don't chase trends, they build habits. And those habits, stacked over years, lead to results that seem impossible at first. So before diving into numbers or strategies, check your mindset. Ask yourself, do I believe wealth is possible for me? Am I open to learning things I didn't grow up knowing? Am I ready to take ownership of my financial future? Because here's the truth. Becoming a millionaire doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your head. And once your thinking shifts, your actions will follow. This book will give you the steps, tools, and strategies to get there. But none of it works if you don't believe you belong in the room. So step 1 is this. Decide that you're not waiting for permission anymore. You're building a millionaire mindset, starting today. Chapter 2. Millionaires don't rely on one income stream. Why earning more, and from more than one place, is step 2. If mindset is the engine that drives your wealth journey, income is the fuel. You can have the best intentions and sharpest budget in the world, but without money coming in, you're stuck. The goal here isn't just to make money, it's to build income that works for you, not just income you work for. Most people rely on a single paycheck. That's what we're taught. Get a job. Get paid. Repeat. But millionaires? They think bigger. They understand that depending on one income stream is risky. What if that job ends? What if the hours are cut? What if inflation eats up your raise? Wealthy people don't just work for money, they build systems that make money with or without them. That's the power of multiple income streams. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and setting up income to keep flowing, even when you're not grinding 24/7. There are lots of ways to start building multiple streams. Here are a few real ones that regular people, not just CEOs, use every day. A side business selling a skill or product online. A freelance work in your free time. A renting out a room, garage, or property. Investing in stocks that pay dividends. The digital content, ebooks, or courses that earn passively. Turning a hobby into a monetized side hustle. At first, none of these streams may bring in huge cash. But that's okay. The goal is to build momentum. $100 a month might not change your life today, But over a year, that's $1,200 you didn't have before. Multiply that across 2 or 3 side incomes, and now you've got real movement. Also, when you start earning from multiple places, something powerful happens. You stop feeling desperate. You gain confidence. You make better decisions. You're not stuck at a job you hate because your bills rely on it. You have room to breathe, and eventually, room to grow even faster. Millionaires don't wait for a perfect business idea or the ideal opportunity. They start small. They try things. They learn. And slowly, those small income streams grow into something bigger than most people's main jobs. The secret isn't luck, it's consistency. Here's the rule: you don't need to be brilliant, you need to be diverse. The more streams you build, the more protected your future becomes. That's not just financial success, that's financial security. So ask yourself, what skills do I already have that I can monetize? What's one small income stream I could test this month? How can I make sure my money isn't all coming from the same place? Because the people who become millionaires don't just work for money. They put their money and ideas to work for them. Chapter 3: Millionaires know how to keep their money. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep, grow, and protect. Earning money is exciting. But keeping it? That's where the real game begins. You can bring in thousands every month, but if it all disappears by the end of the month, you're not building wealth, you're just treading water. That's the mistake most people make. They focus so much on income that they forget what really creates freedom: financial margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. It's where savings live. It's where investments begin. And most importantly, it's where peace of mind exists. Millionaires are masters at protecting that space. They live by one core principle: make your money harder to lose. That doesn't mean they never spend, it means they don't waste. Every dollar has a purpose. And before they spend, they ask, does this bring value to my life? Or does it just feel good in the moment? That's a mindset shift. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. Millionaires don't feel guilty for spending on things they love, but they don't waste on things they don't. They're intentional. And that's a skill anyone can learn. Here's what they do differently. They track where their money goes, every dollar. They budget, but not in a boring way. They give their money clear jobs. They pay themselves first, meaning they save and invest before they spend. They delay unnecessary upgrades. No fancy lifestyle just to impress. They automate their savings so it's not up for debate each month. Most people only save what's left over. But millionaires flip that script. They save first. Spend what's left. That one move makes all the difference. Because when saving becomes automatic, wealth becomes inevitable. Also, millionaires know that it's not just about how much you keep, it's what you do with it. Leaving money sitting in a checking account might feel safe, but it's not growing. They use their savings as fuel for smart moves. Building an emergency fund, investing, or starting a small business. Every dollar is a seed, and they plant it carefully. But maybe the most underrated part of keeping your money? Avoiding lifestyle creep. That's when your spending grows every time your income grows. A raise turns into a bigger car. A bonus turns into a more expensive vacation. Millionaires fight that urge. They let their lifestyle grow slower than their income. That's how they build wealth quietly, while everyone else tries to look rich. So the next time you get paid, ask yourself, how much am I keeping? Or is my money doing anything while I sleep? Or am I living below my means, on purpose? Because earning is step one. But keeping it? That's what separates the average from the wealthy. And you don't have to earn like a millionaire to think like one. Chapter 4: Millionaires don't just save, they invest. Because saving protects, but investing multiplies. Saving money is important. It's your safety net. It's what keeps you from falling during emergencies. But let's be clear, saving alone will not make you a millionaire. Why? Because savings protect your money, but investing is what makes it grow. Millionaires understand this difference better than anyone. They don't just save to avoid risk. They invest to create opportunity. And here's the part most people miss. Investing isn't about gambling or trying to beat the system. It's about putting your money into things that grow slowly, steadily, and predictably over time. The average millionaire didn't hit it big with crypto or win the stock market lottery. They built wealth by doing a few simple things over and over. Consistently investing in index funds or ETF, owning property or real estate, a buying and holding long-term asset, a letting compound interest do the heavy lifting. Here's why investing works. It uses time as a tool. If you invest $200 a month starting in your 20s, you could retire with over $1 million, even if you never increase that amount. Why? Because the money starts earning interest. Then the interest earns interest. And that cycle continues, like a snowball that picks up more snow as it rolls downhill. Millionaires know that the earlier you start, the less you have to do. That's why they don't wait for extra money to invest. They make it a priority, even in small amounts. They understand that every dollar invested is a dollar working for them, 24 hours a day, even while they sleep. The best part? You don't need to be an expert to start. Use automated investing platforms. Stick to broad, low-fee index funds. Don't try to time the market, just stay in the market. It's not about picking winners. It's about staying consistent. They also understand risk. Not all investments are created equal. That's why millionaires never put all their money in one place. They spread it out: stocks, real estate, businesses, even side ventures. This is called diversification, and it's a millionaire's way of saying, I'm not betting the farm on one crop. And while investing always involves risk, not investing is a bigger risk. Inflation eats away at your savings every year. Prices go up, but your bank interest doesn't keep up. If your money isn't growing, it's shrinking, even if it feels safe. So what can you do now? Open a simple investing account, like an IRA or brokerage. Choose one long-term fund, or set it to auto-invest each month, even if it's just $50. Ignore the noise. Focus on decades, not days. Millionaires don't get rich by chasing fast money. They get rich by planting their money and letting it grow over time. They invest because they know this. Money that just sits still never builds a legacy. Chapter 5. Millionaires master consistency, not complexity. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things over and over. Ask most people what it takes to become a millionaire, and they'll give you a list a mile long. Start a business, learn the stock market, flip houses, build passive income streams, and so on. And while those things can help, they're not the real reason most people build wealth. Here's the truth millionaires live by: wealth is built through consistency, not complexity. It's not about doing something amazing once. It's about doing the small, right things again and again, even when they feel boring. Saving a bit from every paycheck. Sticking to a simple investment plan. Living below your means. Not giving in to lifestyle inflation. These aren't exciting, but they work because they're sustainable. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Millionaires flip that thinking. They know one good month won't change their life, but 10 years of smart habits will. That's why they don't chase hype. They build routines, and those routines turn into results. Here's what consistency looks like in real life. Automatically saving a portion of every paycheck. No debate. Investing regularly, no matter what the market is doing. Checking finances monthly, not just when things feel urgent. Saying no to impulse upgrades, even when money is flowing. Staying focused on goals, not distractions or comparisons. Millionaires don't try to be perfect. They aim to be predictable. And because they're consistent, they get something most people never have: momentum. Momentum is when your habits start doing the heavy lifting for you. It's when your money starts multiplying without constant effort. It's when your systems, The savings plan, the budget, the investments are running in the background, moving you forward every day. Consistency also protects you from emotional decisions. When you're building wealth slowly and steadily, you don't panic during market dip. You don't feel the pressure to spend every bonus. You stick to the plan because it's working. But the biggest benefit of consistency? Confidence. Every time you show up, even with small actions, you prove to yourself that you're in control. That builds belief, and belief turns into motivation. Over time, you go from feeling unsure to unstoppable. So ask yourself today, what small habit can I stick to daily, weekly, or monthly? Or am I trying to do too much, too fast, instead of doing a little, every time? What could I build if I stayed consistent for the next 12 months? Because millionaires don't need to be extreme. They need to be reliable with their habits, their money, and their mindset. And the more consistent you are, the less you'll need luck. Chapter 6. Millionaires think long-term and live for freedom. It's not just about the money. It's about what money allows you to do. If there's one lesson that ties all the others together, it's this: becoming a millionaire isn't really about money, it's about freedom. Money is just the vehicle. The real goal is having control over your time, your choices, and your future. Millionaires don't build wealth just to stare at a bank balance. They do it to buy back their time, to travel, to support their families, to say no to things that don't align with their values, to give generously, to pursue work they enjoy instead of work they need just to survive. And they get there by thinking long-term. That means seeing past temporary pleasure and focusing on lasting impact. It means asking, how does this decision affect the next 5 years of my life? Instead of just the next 5 days. Here's the mindset that sets long-term thinkers apart. They delay gratification to gain freedom later. They set goals that stretch over years, not just months. They make decisions based on values, not emotions. They plan for their future family, not just their present comfort. They don't sacrifice long-term security for short-term status. Millionaires aren't just chasing a number. They're building something bigger, something that lasts. That's why they protect their time. That's why they stay focused. And that's why they don't try to look rich. They work quietly until they are rich, and then use that wealth to live fully. But this mindset also makes space for enjoyment. Wealth building doesn't have to mean misery or extreme sacrifice. Long-term thinkers build fun into their plan. They enjoy the journey. They just don't let short-term pleasure sabotage their bigger picture. What does freedom look like to you? Is it working on your own terms? Traveling more? Giving to causes that matter? Spending more time with your family? Becoming a millionaire isn't about becoming obsessed with money. It's about unlocking the life that money helps support. So before we wrap, ask yourself, what does freedom look like to me? What future do I want to design, not just react to? What would change if I stayed focused on that vision every day? Because here's the truth. The millionaire mindset isn't about having more, it's about being more. More focused, more disciplined, more free. The wealth you build is just a reflection of the life you're building underneath it. This isn't the end of your journey, it's the foundation. Now that you understand how millionaires think, act, and grow, you've got everything you need to begin building your own version of wealth. Start with what you have. Use what you know. Keep moving forward, because the future you want is already possible, and this time you're not just hoping for it, you're building it.